Good morning, Shemstars. Welcome to class. Hope you all are fine. Today we will continue with our chapter Nationalism in India. Now we start with Jallianwala Bagh incident. On 13th April 1919, a large crowd gathered in the enclosed ground of Jallianwala Bagh. Some had come to protest against the new law and measures of the government, and some had to come to attend the Baisakhi fair. General Dyer blocked the exit area and opened fire on the crowd. Hundreds of men and women were killed, including children. Later, Dyer declared that his objective behind the massacre was to create terror in the minds of Satyagrahis. Soon the news about Jallianwala Bagh broke out. Crowd took to the streets in many North Indian towns. There were strikes, protests, clashes with police. Even the government buildings were attacked. To this, the British government responded in a very brutal manner. The nationalists were humiliated as they were forced to rub their noses on the ground, crawl on the streets, and salute to all sahibs. Not only this, people were beaten and villages were bombed. On seeing the violence being spread, Mahatma Gandhi called off the movement. At this moment, Gandhiji thought of bringing Hindu and Muslim together so as to make this movement certain and more realistic. Now he decided to take up the Khilafat issue. So, what was the Khilafat movement? Let us discuss that. During the First World War, the Ottoman Emperor of Turkey was defeated by the Britishers. He was known as the Khalifa, a spiritual head of Muslim world. News was spread that Khalifa was forced to sign a harsh peace treaty by the Britishers. This has caused anger among the Indian Muslims. To defend the Khalifa, a Khilafat committee was formed in Bombay in March 1919 by Muhammad Ali and Shaukat Ali. Both the brothers discussed with Mahatma Gandhi about the possibility of united mass action on the issue. Gandhiji found it to be an opportunity to bring Hindus and Muslims together for a unified national movement. So, in the Calcutta session of Congress in September 1920, he convinced other leaders for this, and a non-cooperation movement was started in support of Khilafat as well as for Swaraj. Now, here question arises in my mind that why non-cooperation was chosen by Gandhiji? What was the purpose of launching this movement? Now we discuss why non-cooperation. As per the famous book Hind Swaraj, Mahatma Gandhi declared that British rule came into being because of the cooperation of Indians. He was of the view that if Indians had refused to cooperate, the British rule in India will come to an end in a year and Swaraj would find its way. Gandhiji decided to work on it in stages. At first, the titles awarded by the British government were to be surrendered by the people. Boycott of civil services, army, police, schools and foreign goods. If in case the government uses repression, then a full civil disobedience campaign was to be launched. Mahatma Gandhi and Shaukat Ali toured extensively through the summer of 1920 to gain the support for the movement. On the other hand, there were some members of Congress who were not ready to support this movement. They were not in favor of boycotting the council elections, which was to be held in November 1920. Most of them were afraid of any incidents of violence. Now we talk about the different strands within the movement. The non-cooperation Khilafat movement started in January 1921 and different social groups took participation in this movement. But each had his own aspiration. Though all of them were responded to the call of Swaraj, but their outlook for Swaraj was different from each other. In towns, the movement started within middle class participation. A large number of students left government controlled schools and colleges. Teachers, headmasters resigned, and lawyers left their legal practices. Even the council elections were boycotted in most provinces except Madras. The non-cooperation movement spread in villages too. The struggle was joined by peasants and the tribes also. One such struggle was the peasant struggle of Awadh, led by Baba Ramchandra. He was a sannyasi and he used to be an bonded labor in Fiji. He started a movement against the talukdars and landlords who demanded high rents and various forms of seizures from the peasants. The peasant movement initiated by Ramchandra demanded for lowering down of revenue and abolition of beggar. Still, when tribals raised the slogan of Swatantra Bharat and chanted Gandhiji's name, one could see the unified agitation of Indians in them. Now let's discuss the civil disobedience movement and how it started. As the non-cooperation movement was turning violent in many places, in February 1922, Gandhiji decided to withdraw the movement. He felt the need for proper training of satyagrahis before any kind of mass struggle. On the other side, within the Congress, were some leaders who were not in favor of any mass struggle. They decided to participate in the provincial elections which were set up by the Government of India Act of 1919. Their views was that they should oppose British policies within the council and bring reform and also prove that these councils lacked true democracy. C.R. Das and Motilal Nehru were in favor of returning back to council politics. But young leaders like Jawaharlal Nehru and Subhash Chandra Bose stressed on more mass struggles which presented the agitation of Indians toward the oppressive policies of the Britishers and demanded for full independence. Thank you, Shemstars. That's all for today. You can drop your queries on the Google Classroom. Take care.